Ashish Vidyarthi.
Yes.
Amazing. So
Yes.
Ashish Vidyarthi, the way he does, like with a small camera, he's traveling across the world and doing amazing stuff, and the so-called viral reels, viral content. He had shown the world that this is the way you have to talk about. So every brand needs to be analyzed to the brand DNA level first.
Yeah.
Why people are coming to my channel? Because I am always giving that thing, something I am finding and I am telling you. The same person suddenly goes to a 5-star, started dining that this is the best buffet that I have covered. People get confused. And since I have also, kind of formed a food blogging channel at some point of time, so we were very, very cautious at that time, like what to cover, what not to, because there people start believing you.
Most businesses think that high production value equals to better marketing. But most of almost all your videos doesn't look like that. So how should owners decide what to invest in, like better camera, editing, influencer tie-ups? I mean, you are not doing influencer tie-up right at this moment. Or what should be the one or a few things in which owners should think of investing more if their objective is better marketing?
So I think, as I said, the brand DNA has to be analyzed properly. Okay. Not every, see, you are extremely correct when you said that our production value is very less. We actually shoot through mobile, we actually edit through mobile, and then we, some of the reels are short and then within 15 minutes it is live, and that's how we work. This has worked because Hanglaatherium is a casual dining restaurant, right? The format of Hanglaatherium is very casual dining. Now suppose today ITC is doing a video, okay, would they do the same thing? No, they cannot.
Right.
They cannot, because there is a aesthetic, there is an elegance, there is a brand ethos, the brand positioning that
won't allow
tells
it to.
ITC to not to go in that route. However, ITC has done some amazing video with their chefs. Okay, the chefs, how the sous chefs are cooking for the staff. Amazing videos. And those are very well directed, well shot videos, and it perfectly goes with them. So every brand needs to be analyzed to the brand DNA level first. Until and unless we don't understand the brand DNA, that means how the brand talks, how the brand behaves.
It's not a one size fits all.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So yeah, if I am a cafe, probably I need to talk in a different language. If I am an elite cafe, then I need to probably talk in a different language. Same comes to the influencer integration. Okay, without discriminating the influencers or the food bloggers, there are food bloggers who are covering street foods, that street foods are their forte. Okay, so people relate that particular food blogger with, because why they follow the person. Okay, they are following this person because he is giving you information about the most used word, hidden gems of the city. There are few bloggers I know that they had given a lot of new names to this city, the foodies. Now if the same person goes and promote a buffet in a ITC or probably a 5-star, people would not relate, So the food bloggers or the influencers also needs to understand that what their personal brand is.
Okay.
And according to that, they have to choose where to go. So if the same person is going to say a Chittoda's soup, Chittoda is probably not the example, because there is certain amount of class attached to it. I'm not saying class as a differentiator, but there is a nostalgia, there is some amount of respect from different classes of people.
Right.
But I am talking about there is a roadside stall which is probably doing amazing kind of food. They are also great, they are also fabulous, and I am a food blogger, I cover that. The next thing that I cover is probably in some gully somebody is making some fabulous samosas, so I am covering that. So why people are coming to my channel? Because I am always giving that thing, you know, something I am finding and I am telling you. The same person suddenly goes to a 5-star, started dining that this is the best buffet that I have covered. People get confused, you know. And since I have also, you know, kind of formed a food blogging channel at some point of time, so we were very, very cautious at that time, like what to cover, what not to, because there people start believing you, right? Coming to the shoot part, there are the Mark Wins of the world, one of the finest food blogger of all time. He has never really used proper camera setup for doing that. It's always a mobile phone, at least that's how he had started. The content, Ashish Vidyarthi.
Yes.
Amazing. So Ashish Vidyarthi, the way he does, like with a small camera, he's traveling across the world and doing amazing stuff, and the so-called viral reels, viral content. He had shown the world that this is the way you have to talk about. So it does not matter in the digital form or in the any form of content development. How you are shooting completely depends on the brand that you are trying to build. But the content, if the content has power, if the content has something, a storyline, the content will always work.
So content is the king still now. It will always
It will always be the king. Content will always be the king.
Right, right. So you have, so that is a learning as someone building a food blogging channel as well, that you used when you were trying to build Hanglaatherium on a different podium altogether, right? Like choosing the right influencer whenever it required you to do so.
Well, not really, but yeah, I mean, I realized that the power of food blogging probably much earlier, when only 4 or 5 people used to write food blogging. And again, I thought that this content is important, because how do I actually reach out to the people, because social media is going to grab a lot of mind space in the future. So, and how do I really grab that? And we felt that at one point, this particular thing, which is more of a passion for people, may become a profession for many people. And that has happened over a period of time. Now, you know, developing Foodka was, again, it's not a very calculated decision to make Foodka, but Foodka was more of a thought which came because we thought that this is going to be the future of food blogging. Okay, and that is why probably we were the first few food channel which talks on a storyline, right? So that is how we started it. We started it, and of course, I mean, I'm no more a part of it, but however, I am extremely nostalgic and emotionally attached to the product. So we developed this product, Foodka. That product will talk about or explore food, and more importantly, document them, so the people who are not from Kolkata, from abroad, for them it becomes kind of an encyclopedia. Of course, I have used Foodka, or rather the team Foodka had used the channel to a great extent to promote Hanglaatherium at that time. Especially Mir used to do that many times. Of course, that has helped me immensely. But then again, that's a very, very calculated risk at times we had to take, because Foodka was also becoming popular. And a popular channel can never promote a single brand every time. So if you look at it, the first 1 year we had incorporated Hanglaatherium in many of the episodes. However, at the later part, we have completely, came out of Hanglaatherium route because it is not really working for the channel. So I need to be very honest with whatever brand that I make. Yeah, so that's how it has actually happened. Yeah.
And as a digital marketer, and you are also running a food chain. So what are the lessons as a digital marketer you have learned that you are implementing here, or let's say what are the mistakes that you have seen other brands making that you are trying to avoid for Hanglaatherium?
So I'm not the person who can actually tell you that what mistakes others are doing until and unless I show a keen interest in that brand. There are brands, yes, there are friends who might tell proactively that don't do this. What is the general mistakes that people do is that I'm sure that you have also faced this, that whenever we approach a client, they basically come out with an ask, right? This is what my need is, and the need is like I need 10 Facebook posts or 12 Instagram posts. The post has now changed into reel, and unfortunately or fortunately, since the time the Hanglaatherium reels has started getting popular, they are saying that we need also viral reels. Everything is fine. I mean, we can try doing that, but my question to them is that why 10 posts, why not 50 posts, or why not 2 posts? There is no answer to that. When I'm saying that why reels, what kind of reels that you need, no answers. So what we normally miss, and this is not for restaurant alone, this is for any business, you need to do a proper brand analysis. So whenever we go to a client, we tell them that let's do a brand analysis, a brand workshop. What is a brand workshop? That you are the owner of the brand, but you probably may not have asked certain questions to your brand. How the brand talks, how the brand behaves, how a human your brand is. You need to ask this question, and you need to find out what is your brand, and then according to the brand ethos, the brand DNA, we need to really make the plan that goes along with your brand. So what works for O Calcutta may not work for Hanglaatherium. What works for Hanglaatherium may not work with O Calcutta. I'm just giving names, but so every brand is very different, and every brand needs to be projected differently, then only it will impact the consumer's mind. I cannot bluntly copy things. I cannot bluntly follow a certain certain organization just because they had been extremely successful. If I do, that's the massive mistakes, and that's a huge risk you are taking for your brand. So until and unless we sit down and ask bloody straight question to your brand, be extremely honest, and as the brand owners, I mean as a digital marketing partner or a marketing partner, we need to ask this pretty tough and rough questions to our clients. Sometimes it feels a bit annoying, sometimes it feels a bit arrogant. However, our job is to basically understand what they are, what problems they are facing, and until and unless we are at par, the client and both us, we are not understanding the platform well, where we are, it is difficult, right? And there are clients with whom we have worked or we have started working, understanding that this will not go further.
Yes, happens.
Yeah, it happens, right? So we started working with a client and then think that okay, ये तो 3 महीना चलेगा, ये तो 6 महीना, because after 6 months they will get bored. अरे मैं तो इतना पैसा खर्च कर रहा हूँ कि कुछ तो आ नहीं रहा है because you have not really done the right things.
And perhaps because you have not figured out the whys first.
Yeah, the whys first. You have to do it. You have to ask that question, and that happens. See, before the board exams, and that's my mother taught me. Before the board exam, why there is always a pre-board exam. The pre-board exam is basically to understand where I am. So my madhyamik, before my madhyamik, I got 39 in history. That has shown me that I may flunk in history. And if that has not happened, probably I would have failed because I was super confident that I am good in maths and physics and I will pass. But then my test, the pre-test, had shown me that you are absolutely a zero because you are not a good student at all because you have not studied this. So, that pre-test is a necessary whenever we are working with any brand. Yeah. So
I got your point. So, but then there are new cafes, there are new ventures which start their journey with a lot of aspirations. But the main thing they're stuck with is perhaps the budget thing. If a new cafe comes to you tomorrow and asks you, I have a very tight budget, but I want attention online. So what would be the simplest thing, the first 1 or 2 steps perhaps that you would suggest him?
I'd again go back to the grammar of it. I would again go back to the grammar that let's analyze your brand. Budget is absolutely secondary. Budget is most of the time, marketing budget is always a mindset rather than the actual budget, the physical budget. Of course, there are bootstrap companies like us. We are always extremely cautious about every penny that we spend. And that happens with many of the brands. They have to be cautious. They have to be careful about spending money. But then the whole philosophy or the way it has been taught to people that digital marketing is, easy. Digital marketing is shasta. Digital marketing is cheap. No, digital marketing is not cheap. Digital marketing and marketing itself is an expense. And how much percentage of your turnover that you are spending on your marketing, that needs to be decided. That requires a business plan. That requires a thorough analysis of your business. That requires a thorough analysis of your brand. Until and unless you do these things, it is very difficult. The easiest part, and everyone wants, unfortunately, every client till date we have met, and that's even a Fortune 500 companies, they have also said that our budget is less, but how much is less? So to me it works in a different way. I basically do an analysis of their brand and I understand what needs to be done, and then I ask the client that this should be the amount that you need to spend to get this kind of results. Now you tell me how much of it you can spend. So if you can tell me that this is the amount of money that I can spend at this point of time, let's stick to that. But make sure that you can, or you are in a position to spend this every month.
Right.
Because if there is no continuity, don't even get into marketing. Yeah. Other than that, if there is a new cafe, I would say the first 3 to 4 months, people would come when your food is good. Okay, people will keep coming if you continue to serve good. But before that, yes, there are multiple ways. There are, you need to get people in your cafe. There are multiple methods for that. You can actually bring in the influencers, you can bring in your friends, you can bring in newspapers, channels. Again, it depends on budget. Okay, so if I know the budget, then probably I can plan out what best suits to this budget. And of course I cannot go to a roadside cafe and say that go for a telegraph coverage. Okay, and I cannot. But yeah, that there are other aspects of it which we need to probably look at.
So you have probably answered my next question almost. I was going to ask you that marketing expenses are skyrocketing. At this stage, do you still think digital marketing is the way forward, or compared to broadcasting, newspaper ads and other things, because it is measurable? What is your opinion?
So I look at digital the whole gamut of digital world as a media. Okay, the marketing has not changed at all. So marketing in its core has remained the same as it was probably 100 years back or 200 years back. You know, the philosophy of marketing has not really changed much. What has changed is the media, and today it is, of course, it is digital. That is the reason for which you are actually seeing there is a global transformation. There is a global transformation. There are multiple Fortune 500 companies whose spending on digital is more than the traditional media. So the media choice is slowly becoming digital. And when I am talking digital, there are multiple aspects of it. So today even the OTT channels had started showing ads. Okay, there are location specific OTT ads which are running. So for example, if there is a IPL going on, the ad that say a Thane guy is seeing, probably a New Bombay guy is seeing a different ad. So there are location specific ads which are hyper locations are there. So of course the media digital it has a lot to do, and I'm sure there is, as you said, that I can actually to somewhat we can figure out that what is my return on investment better in a digital campaign. Traditional media, would that be obsoleted? No, there will be. There are brand specific advertisement when people are trying to establish brand, and there is a, I would always feel that there is a amount of ego also of a brand that also attached with a newspaper ads or a big hoardings. Okay, that will always be there. And my choices, however, I'm seeing that even the big brands have started spending more on digital, and this trend will continue.
Right.
And I'm sure that this trend will continue at least for the next 5-6 years. I'm not seeing any changes in it. Of course, there are new technologies which are coming. Artificial intelligence will give you more in-depth analysis. Things will be like that. Yeah.
So this brings us to the last question, Sunando da. The algorithm keeps changing. Trends are changing super fast. Perhaps the platform of choice, the media, is also changing. So as a brand owner, multiple brand owner, what would you advise other businesses to focus on instead of just running behind trends?
Depends on what kind of brands they are. As a brand owner, you need to be updated. I mean, people who are, say for example, companies like MDH. I'm just giving a name because I have interacted with the gentleman. He doesn't believe in all this. A 90-year-old man goes and he dances, and people have seen it and they have used the product, and that's gone at that era. So as a brand owner, as a company owner, you need to be aware what's happening across the world. Okay, why? Do you really understand? Do you need to understand the algorithm of it? No, you can't. It is not your job to understand. It's my passion, that is why I keep on studying about algorithm, but I'm not expecting any brand owners to actually go and deep and analyze what an algorithm is. Since I have come from that software background, so my natural tendency is basically to understand what's happening beyond this. But that is something I would never, I mean, I never expect people to do. However, there are brand owners who said that I don't care about this. So I think those people will get obsolete at some point of time. You know, very orthodox brands today, they are coming on social media and doing fun things. Very orthodox brand. I can name thousands of them. Brands who have never gone beyond the big hoardings or the newspapers, they are coming and making reels today. Funny reels. They're dancing. They're doing certain things because of, see what a brand does. They basically try to attract people, and to attract At the end of the day, we all are trying to sell something, and I give myself the best example of sellers are, if you go to a mela, if you go to a village show, and then you will see a person who is screaming and selling something in that whole thing, they are the biggest salespeople, because they can attract people and they can sell their product. So that attraction, to bring that attraction to my brand, I need to understand what works for me. If today it is the social media, tomorrow it might be something else. But if I don't move along with the technology, if I don't move along with what is happening around me, then I will not be able to understand the whole thing. Okay, there are big brands, they have kept people for this work. Okay, we probably cannot afford, so that is why I need to take care of certain aspects of it. But there are people who have hired agencies, there are people who have, but even if you hire an agency, you need to be in top of that.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
It's
as
your
a
brainchild.
as a business owner, I would say that you have to concentrate on your product first.
Yes.
Okay, that is like a mandate that everybody, and I'm sure that that's non-negotiable. Similarly, even if you manufacture, even if you build the best of the products, if it is not advertised and if it is not told to people, then it will not sell. The whole purpose is defeated. Okay, so as a brand owner, as a company owner, you need to concentrate on both the things. A is that you need to build the product with the best of quality and best of the shape, the best of you need to concentrate on having a great quality product. But at the same time, you need to concentrate, you need to put a lot of effort to market it. And for that, if you have to understand the algorithm, yes, you have to, but not really get into the detail of it, but at least be on the trend. And I'm sure that this had changed a lot. The people who used to say that no, we don't do this, that has changed, that mindset has changed. But again, people who feel that we are above social media, we are above others, we are the so and so of this world, there will be time when, for the love of money, anyone in this world can build a product which is better than you.
Absolutely.
Right? Today Tesla probably wins the race of the electric car segment. However, there are Chinese companies who are making probably almost a similar car at a lesser cost. So I can never be sure at the top. My span at the top is very, very small and very short, and it is getting shorter.
Yes.
Okay, an innovation used to stay a bit longer in our days. When I'm saying our days, I feel like I'm an old person, but in today's world, 50-year-old is an old person. So in my childhood, I have seen a person to be on top for a very longer duration, be it a brand, be it a company, be it a sports person. So for example, Sunil Gavaskar scored 10,000 run. He was the top scorer for a very, very long time. But today Sachin Tendulkar had scored maximum number of centuries, but he is always at risk, because there are other Sachin who would come, there are other Gill who would come, there are other players who would come and probably suppress him. So no one is absolute at the position where they are, and to remain on top, to remain at the position where they are, they have to be aware of what is happening. If they neglect, they will, again another company will come, they will suppress them. So I think yes, as brand owners, as company owners, you need to understand things. If you don't understand, hire us. We will make you understand. But yeah, I mean that's a joke. But yeah, I mean I think everyone needs to understand what is happening around.
Yes, very true. And let's conclude with 3 quick rapid fire round questions, which you need to answer in just few words.
Yeah.
Like running 3 brands successfully must be stressful at times. How do you relax? How do you unwind?
I think about the 4th brand that I can start.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would relieve some amount of stress from me.
That's great. And football or cricket?
Cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah.
And Bangla Adhunik Gan or rock music, Western?
Music. My music collection is a very strange one. I hear Alauddin Khan Sahab to the latest rock sensation, and thanks to my son now hip hop. So if it is soothing to my ears, I hear. Music is something that I can never get detached with, so that keeps me running. So whenever I'm alone, whenever I'm sitting in some place, some music is running or the other. Yeah.
Thank you, Sunando Da, for coming to my show.
Thank you. All the best to your show.
Thank you so much. So that brings us to the end of this episode of Another Dimension by Deepanita Gupta. Till we meet again, keep learning, keep adapting, and keep taking your business to another dimension.